Hello, hello, hello. Reverend Jackie McCall here. And today we are on Psalm 6. We took a pause yesterday and I think Sunday. No. We took a pause yesterday for sure. But nevertheless, we are on Psalm 6. Okay? And this is a prayer for recovery from grave illness. And the psalmist writes, "O Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger, or discipline me in your wrath. Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am languishing. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are shaking with terror. My soul also is struck with terror. While you, O Lord, how long? Turn, O Lord, save my life. Deliver me for the sake of your steadfast love. For in death there is no remembrance of you. In Sheol, who can give you praise?" Decline that interference. Verse 6, "I am weary with my moaning. Every night I flood my bed with tears. I drench my couch with weeping. My eyes waste away because of grief. They grow weak because of all my foes. Depart from me, all you workers of evil. For the Lord has heard the sound of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies shall be ashamed and struck with terror. They shall turn back and in a moment be put to shame." Selah. So here we hear the psalmist starting out, "O Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your wrath." Wow. "Be gracious to me, O Lord, for I am languishing. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are shaking with terror. My soul also is struck with terror. While you, O Lord, how long?" Have you ever been in a situation or had any health issues or a diagnosis where you were just like, "Oh Lord, how long?" Have you ever felt that way? Verse 6 says, "I am weary with my moaning. Every night I flood my bed with tears." Have you ever sat up all night and just cried? Or woke up in the morning and just cried? I have. There's been a lot of bad news, right? Whether you hear it in your family, whether you hear it on the news. Every time I look around, there's bad news. And yes, I am weary with my moaning, just like this psalmist. I drench my couch with my weeping. Have you ever gotten to a point where all you just want to do is just cry? All you can do is cry. And cry out to God. It's human. It's our human condition. And it's okay. It is okay for us to grieve. It is okay for us to cry. It is okay for you to feel how you feel in that moment. But what I love about the psalmist and this psalm is that there comes a point towards the end of this particular psalm where the psalmist writes, "You know what? The Lord has heard my supplication, and the Lord accepts my prayer." Do you believe that the Lord hears you when you cry out? The psalmist reminds us that God hears us. That God hears us weeping, that God feels and hears our grief. that God knows us. So next time you're grieving, or next time you're sad, next time you are feeling some kind of way, next time you are drenching the couch with your tears, do like this psalmist does. At some point, he stops, he probably takes a breath and says, the Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord said that the Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. That means the Lord hears you. And once we can go about feeling like we've been heard, in my opinion, we can move forward in power. When you pray and you lament and you cry out to God and you tell God exactly how you feel, and you take a moment to pause and remember that God will never leave you nor forsake you, and that God hears you, you can then pause like this psalmist does in verse 9. It says, the Lord has heard my supplication, and the Lord accepts my prayer. And this psalmist goes on boldly in that very last verse to say, all my enemies shall be ashamed and struck with terror. They shall turn back and in a moment be put to shame. This person felt empowered. So first they were weak, cried out to God, grieving, crying out to God, even saying, God, how long? Weary, moaning, cried out to God, got it out of their system. But then there's a shift that takes place where the psalmist then says to depart from me, all you workers of evil. So starting to feel some power again, starting to feel their help coming on. And says, the Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord accepts my prayer. This psalmist kind of teaches us how to pray. This again is Psalm 6. It's telling us to let go, be free, be honest with God about how we're feeling in the moment. And then it shifts and you should begin to feel some power once you release and get that out there and remember whose child you are. And then you have that strength to say, depart from me, all you workers of evil. Yes, yes. And it goes on down to say, the Lord accepts my prayer. How do you pray? What is your prayer life like? Are you honest with God? Are you weak and vulnerable with God? Or do you try to fake it with God? Those are the questions I leave you with today. Have a blessed day.